So what do you think? Last time we were here, we were talking about exterior siding. We were just getting underway. We were talking about framing the deck. Well, I think it's looking great. You know, we're talking about paint on the outside. This was all pre-finished siding, both the lighter natural stuff as well as the red there. Looking really good. I think the black was just a beautiful complement. You know, working out these colors with the homeowners, just a really good selection of choices. But the fun doesn't just stop on the outside. Inside, we have a lot of stuff going on. The floors are in. We got a bunch of tile work there that we're going to talk about, as well as a pretty unique paint concept that we're going to walk through in here. So let's just take in one last view, and then we can head inside, and we're talking floors, tile, and paint today. So let's get after it.
Multi-generational home on a budget. A Build original series brought to you by Zip System Building Enclosures, Fantech, New Wool, Bosch Home Comfort.
All right, so we stepped inside. We're gonna do some tile work today. And before we do tile work, you know it, I love to talk about the products we're using, the preparation that's required, everything before we put the tile in. Nobody just walks in the bathroom, starts throwing down some thin set, and then throwing down some tile, right? You gotta know what the hell you're doing. So, I get the product manager from Litacrete. Dustin, how you doing, buddy?
Steve, thanks for having me, bud.
No, thanks for joining me. So we're gonna run through a whole bunch of stuff. Now, you guys out at Litacrete, man, you guys have been working hard for years, right?
About 68 years.
68 years, almost 70 years. And if my memory serves me correct, you guys were the ones that either invented or brought thin set to the market.
Yeah, we were definitely one of the innovators in the game in that we incorporated latex with concrete, hence the name Litacrete, and that's what gives you that thin set. So when you hear the term thin set, that's kind of a little bit of the background story around it.
Gotcha. Now, I've done a bunch of projects, and you guys certainly are doing some really cool things like this. This is a custom shower pan.
Correct.
Right? And it comes with the PVC already installed and set inside. If I spin this around, you'll see the backside here, it's all set to be set inside the drain.
Yep.
Now, the cool thing about this is, like I said, it's customized, right, for this project. We can't take this anywhere. Now, you can't just walk into Home Depot and say, hey, give me one of those Litacrete shower pans.
No, you can't.
Right.
So we have a specific portal that's designed, because we know that every job is different. You get on a site, you think measurements are one thing, they're another. We have a specific site where you can measure, write out, input your measurements, and you can get a pan delivered to you within, you know, a 2 to 3 week turnaround time. So with that, you have the ability to customize the waterproofing, you have the ability to customize the size. You might not necessarily want the drain included. We have options where the drain isn't excluded, and you can use our external bonding flange.
I'm assuming you can pinpoint that location, whether it's a round drain or whether it's a linear drain?
We do round, we do point and linear, right? You can move the outlet around. If you're doing a tub conversion, you want to do 3260 off center.
Gotcha.
We have the ability to move the site of that outlet to best fit your waste outlet needs for the bathroom.
And one of the other things that you mentioned that struck me quite well is you can put me, the Joe homeowner, in contact with a Litacrete professional.
Correct. So we have full system support, right? We're going to know where you're ordering from. We can get our reps right out there. So we have the ability, with the information that we receive from the portal, to even provide that aftermarket or that pre-installation service.
All right. And then this comes with a very rough surface here that I'm sure is engineered to grab your thin set and have the tile. And can I get these, are these sloped, or do I build that up in the thin set? How does the system exactly work?
These are all pre-sloped, pre-formed, designed to fit ADA requirements. So 1/4 inch per linear foot away from the waste outlet. Like I said, already sloped and already with our latex-based waterproofing
see the X.
applied.
I mean, it's faint, but there is an X. I can see it right there, down there,
up from all angles,
and down there. So everything's draining to that middle. So what an innovation. It's like the days of putting this thick mud set and setting this all up, and this is on a pretty dense EPS foam here, and it's got a backer.
3 pound, 50 PSI.
There we go. So
I
50 PSI, that's, you know, I don't know. If I did the math, it's probably somewhere around 2,000 pounds a square foot. So
it's a lot.
I mean, my 160-pound frame, it's not crushing it, right? So as we move across the bathroom, you guys have some other stuff that you can show us here.
Yep.
So this is the standard mat, right, that separates or discontinues the floor from the tile.
Yep, so it's an uncoupling mat. It's going to allow for that play within the tile, flex within the floor, so that you don't have cracks and transmit there all the way up.
Right.
This specific mat, though, is designed to accept our heat cable. So for the installation we're on today, the gentleman is going to be putting in electric radiant floor heat in his bathroom. This specific mat, while it acts as an uncoupling mat, also accepts our heat cables. So we have a heat system that runs off design thermostats that are powered by, you know, basic 120 and 240 volt breakers, depending on how the house is hooked up.
Gotcha.
We have different wires that run different spans throughout, right? And the ability to put those wires integrated directly into the mat, allows for the customized floor plan that a given bathroom or a tileable space might allow.
And this just snaps in. I mean, hell, an architect can do this.
Correct. Minimal efforts.
Right?
Minimal
yeah.
effort.
Well, thanks. I insulted myself, and then you just reinforced the insult. But that's all right. That's all right. I could take it. But no, you know, I always commend companies that think beyond what they're doing, right? Like you guys are doing tile, but you recognize some people might want to put radiant floors in. And the radiant floor might be an electric radiant floor, which means there's a wire. So why not develop a system that can integrate the wire to your system? And then I don't have to search for a special wire. You guys supply everything. And then we just wire it up, and the homeowner ends up with a beautiful tiled floor that has their radiant system in it.
100%. We like to fashion ourselves. We got you covered from the substrate on up.
Right. And I'm assuming that all of your, you know, you guys have trained professionals that you can lead us to install this stuff.
Yep.
Right.
We have our technical services team along with a network of preferred installers.
Exactly. So, Litacrete. What do you say we go put this one in the shower and we'll see exactly how it fits. Make sure it fits just right.
Works for me.
All right. All right, so we jumped inside the shower. No comments. All right? And I thought it was really important that if we talk about the portal and, hey, you need to measure your shower pan, of course, we're going to get 100 comments that say, well, what do I measure? How do I measure? What do I measure from what to what? So, architect with tape measure. Yes, I'm used to an architectural scale, but I can handle a tape measure. So, Dustin, I'm in the shower. Am I measuring like face of frame to face of frame down here, or am I like taking a little off, like a window rough opening? Like how am I measuring? If I'm taking the shower and I have a measurement here of, say, we are exactly 48.5 inches.
Probably take an eighth off each side.
Take an eighth off of each side. So I would order that shower pan at 48.25.
Correct.
And then again, from this side, I would just measure, it appears to be to the edge of drywall to framing, we're 42.5. Again, off of each side, 42.25. So 48.25, 42.25 gets me the shower pan. And then I just kind of delineate, do I want that in the center? Do I want it offset? And I'm assuming I have the liberty to say if I needed it over 3 inches.
100%. You can fully move it around in anywhere within that space. All measurements are given from the width and the length to the middle of the waste outlet. Right.
Gotcha.
So usually the waste outlet's around 2 inches. You go right to that middle. You take the inch off for the radius on that side.
Gotcha. And so it's ready. Then you just drop it in. Thin set, tile, sealer. Everything.
One other thing to note with ours is we do have the ability to manipulate height. So again, we like to keep in mind the ADA requirement for the 1/4 inch per linear foot, but you do have the ability to manipulate height to keep it as minimalist as possible if you want to do those.
When you say height, you mean the slope of the shower pan?
The actual height of the height of the pan.
The height of the pan.
The slope is always going to go with like I said, the 1/4 inch per linear.
Okay.
But if you want to do, a barrier-free installation with minimal work, right, it allows for that as well.
Oh, wow. So you guys obviously work with us and with our tile guys.
Yep.
And then you're standing on the mat that we
Yep.
showed. This is just ready to get the wire. We have our little outlet over on the side there that's going to come down from the thermostat. That's
Yep.
going to charge the wire, but we just basically zigzag that wire in here.
Yep.
We have the uncoupling mat, and
Yeah, it's pretty
we're good to go.
straightforward. This is a dry fit run of it. You want to do every 2, 3, 2, every 3 or every 4 peg space. It's a UL approved installation. It's going to provide the maximum amount of output with the minimum amount of energy for the system to run as efficiently as possible.
all right. Well, why don't we close this out? We'll let the tile guys do what tile guys and tile gals do, and then we'll return and see that beautifully finished product. But before we go, any final words from Litacrete? Family-owned business?
Family-owned business, family-run, really great values, global company, global construction solutions company that has you, like I said before, set from the substrate all the way on up to the grout and the finished tile.
So complete system,
Yep.
backup, technical service. You guys have trained installers, so it sounds like you have the complete system.
Yeah. Again, thanks for the opportunity,
Dustin,
Steve.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Quick education. So there you have it, folks. When you're looking at tile for your bathroom, kitchen, whatever the system is, mud room, look no further. Litacrete. All right, Brett. So why don't we head down to your bedroom here? This one here is painted. Not only is it painted, but I absolutely love this color. Let's step over this. We peeled this back a little so you can get a nice view of this floor. This is a 3.5 inch white oak, right?
Yep, 3 1/4.
We got a sample right there.
Yep, it's just a solid 3 1/4 inch, 3 1/4 regular sawn white oak.
Yeah. You know what's really interesting for me is you could probably get this anywhere in the country. But you step out of New England and everybody starts talking about engineered flooring. They start talking about laminate type flooring.
Yep.
Like the only places that I really see true 3/4 inch flooring, and you can see it there, it has that nice thick upper edge so that you have a couple refinishes built into this, right? I mean, there's a lot of houses in New England that probably have 100 years worth of hardwood floor in them. And it takes a beating. You can come in here, you can knock it down, sand it, you can get pretty much any species.
most engineered wood floors aren't going to have that big of a wear limit.
Right.
Nowhere
They'll
close
give
to
like
that.
1 or 2 shots at a knockdown. But this one here, you probably have 3 or 4.
This should be around for the life of the house, and
Yeah.
this house is going to be around for a while.
Yeah. So that's really cool. Now, do we have a finish on this?
We do. We have a couple coats. So what I like to do is before any of the trim starts, I install my floors, sand them. I have 2 coats of a water-based finish, and we're sanding up to the edges so you don't have a ramp going up to your baseboard because they can actually sand up to the wall before it goes down.
And these are cut to the baseboard.
No,
They're
before.
cut underneath the baseboard.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we're basically wood floor goes to your plaster and it's finished,
Gotcha.
and then we're scribing to it, but it's a finished floor was sanded flat before the baseboard's there, so you don't have the ramp.
Yeah. You know, that's one of those things here in New England. It depends on who you talk to.
Yes.
Because there's the ones that say, I'm going to cut my floor up to the baseboard, and there's going to be the ones that say, put in the floor and then come down with the baseboard.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to tell you my opinion, because if I tell my opinion, I'm going to get tons of comments that say, oh, you're an idiot, you shouldn't do it that way, you should always do it this way. But I do like it on top when it comes down on top like this. That's how I did my house too. You know, there's the argument, oh, if that shrinks away, you're going to see that gap. And I don't know. I mean,
But if you're butting it tight and it moves, you're gonna see that. I don't know. To me, this is the lesser of the evil. It makes the flooring guy's job easier because we have 2 coats down. So at the end, it's more of just like a buff in a final coat.
Right.
My finish carpenters are very good at scribing. So I don't know. To me, this plays to my trade partner's strengths.
Yeah. I mean, the floor looks great. This is a plain sawn floor, right?
Yep.
So it's cut literally just slices
Yep.
of the tree there, so you get a little bit of that, you know, kind of longitudinal grain cut through there. And it's the one that usually has the most color in it too,
It does.
which you can see there. But you know, natural white oak, can't go wrong. It's a pretty safe, simple, but always a successful choice.
I agree. I think you don't really have to do much to dress it up. That's why we go with a nice matte water-based finish, because to me the white oak does all the talking. I don't need to mask it.
Gotcha. Let me grab that. Why don't you grab the can that we're finishing? We can do a little chat about that. So.
Yeah. Nothing crazy. Bona Traffic HD. So it's a 2-part. It actually has a hardener that gets mixed in. So you get per what is this? A gallon. Just about a gallon. You have a bottle of hardener, 1-to-1.
Mix it in.
Yep.
Okay.
So it, you know, more. Some people are worried about water-based finishes in terms of strength and hardness, but they do have some good systems out there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we use this all the time, and it takes a really good beating. Now, the wood that we're seeing on there, that's a poplar. That's going to get painted.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. So
the trim.
in this room, we're doing something unique in that besides the white oak, everything in this room from the floor up will be painted this same color. So
Yeah. You remember the color? This is a test.
Caldwell. Yes, but I want to say it Caldwell green or something is the wall color.
All right. I love it. It's beautiful. It's almost like a slate green, if you will.
Yep.
And the other, one thing I wanted to point out, I know later, I think it's 2 more episodes, we're going to talk about the windowsills and some of the trim, but that's already in, and you can see, you know, there's a really good match to the white oak there. Great choice.
We're actually going to use the same finish we put on the floor.
The same finish, the same Bona HD on that. That's great because it does give it that nice matte finish. And it doesn't give it, you know, it's one of those things. It depends if you want that kind of mirror-like finish or if you want this really flat, almost natural finish. I prefer this, but
me too.
But I steered you away. Caldwell, we'll call it Caldwell green.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's this nice, beautiful slate green. Now, your color scheme is a little different than what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll let you. I'm not going to steal your thunder. Talk to me about your paint scheme.
I don't know. So we wanted more of like a tranquil feel. This is our bedroom. So when you do like a darker color, if you go with a white trim, it's more contrasting, right? So what we decided to go with is the same color for our trim, walls, and ceiling in 3 different sheens. So flat on the ceiling, matte on the walls, satin on the trim. So it'll be just slight enough that you will pick out the different components, but it'll all be the same.
It won't look the same, but it'll look the same.
Yeah.
And I just find it interesting that I have a builder talking about tranquility. And,
I know, I should stay in my lane, huh?
Throwing out some art terms there, and some emotional. I really am looking for this tranquil environment for my wife and I. It was good. It was good. I bought it. So you sold it. You sold it. But yeah, it's really interesting that, you know, it's very rare. Most people would do a, you know, kind of a flat white up there. Call it ceiling white.
Yep.
You know, they actually have 5-gallon pails of ceiling white. You put it up there, you paint it, you forget about it. It's the easy out. But there is something really nice about coming in a room and having the whole thing painted. And then the trim, is the baseboard going to get that same?
It is. The doors as well.
Doors, everything. So when we do that final walkthrough through here, we'll be able to really capture that tranquil feel.
We'll see if it's a success or a failure.
We'll see.
I think it's going to be
I'm
nice.
walking through the door and going, oh my God, I feel so tranquil when I walk into this room.
That's what we're hoping.
But speaking of tranquil, why don't we go check out some tile work in here, right?
Let's do it.
We have the owner's bath here.
One of our favorite parts of this house, this room right here.
And yeah, it's what's not to love, right?
I know.
Some beautiful tile. You know, when I first walked in, I was like, it's an interesting tile choice because I didn't see this one. But it's certainly grown on me.
We had help on this bathroom. Hannah from Lawless Design, she did a great job. It's soft, but I like how we have the slate tile.
Yeah, the floor tile, I love that. That's just a nice look, very easy to keep clean. You know, it's going to do the job. This stuff here, we were talking about it a little earlier. This is pretty interesting because you mentioned the tile guy was in here a while. He actually did all mitered corners down that finished edge.
He did painstakingly in this bathroom and our guest bathroom. They're handmade tiles. They're supposed to be imperfect. So, and they're also thicker with the handmade tiles. So profiles don't necessarily fit so well. But he did an awesome job.
But the tile guy did a beautiful job.
He did.
Laying this out, and just the idea, like we talked about when we're designing it, so I don't want to act surprised, because if I act surprised, it's like, didn't you know what you were designing? But there's some really nice things, like we have this nice clear story transom here that provides just an abundance of light. We can share a little with the main component here, but then we can go inside.
I'll let you stay in there alone, Steve. We're not gonna go in the shower together.
We're not gonna have a tranquil moment. Is that what you're telling me?
No, let's get in here. You designed a big enough shower.
There you go. It's big enough where we don't have to hold hands or anything in here. But you know, tile all the way up to the ceiling. I always like that choice. You get a lot of people that stop it at 7 feet, and then you have the white. You know, fine selection in the shower.
The fixtures,
the fixtures. That is a really nice, the color on that. It's not quite a gold, but it is, it's kind of like if silver crashed into gold, that's would have been the result.
Again, I can't take credit for that. So Hannah did a good job, but yeah, I love the idea that we have a curbless shower, the same flooring continues right through, everything pitches to our linear drain, 1/4 inch per foot.
And for those of you that don't believe it's pitching, because one way to check, and I just did, you can see how the tile, as you go down, the tile gets larger all the way to here. So there's definitely a slope.
There is.
We don't have a door. It's just open shower.
It is.
The freedom of that. The shower linear drain here. And you know, this is something I do, I would say almost every project almost, but we have the bench and then we go up and we have a, you know, 36, 40, 42 inch shelf, and I call it the shampoo shelf. It's
exactly
a great
what
place.
it is.
You put your little soap dishes. Everybody's got stuff these days, right?
Yes, we do.
You don't have one bottle. There's all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
So this gives us room for stuff here, and I can see you slope the bench because you can tell just by the tile there. So all of this stuff, and even there you can see it's set to slope. There's a little drip there, so looking really, really good.
Thank you, Steve.
So beautiful shower, and then
there will be a nice big tub over here.
little toilet alcove. Yeah, if we can swap places.
So this was another, I would say, key design feature that you came up with, the soaking tub perched in front of this beautiful
Perched in front
window.
here, so you get a nice, I mean, you got the neighbor's house, but I can see in the woods and see some animals, some fields there. And of course, you know, once your septic field greens up, it'll look beautiful. That was a bad joke, but anyways, it worked.
We love it.
Yeah, it's more about, you know, sitting in here, getting some natural light. You're getting some privacy. There's really nothing out there.
No, nobody's going to see up here.
That's going to see up here. And yeah, beautiful tub. We got a nice little accent wall that ties it into the shower. We got a nice little shelf here. You put some candles.
That's the wine glass shelf.
Or the wine glass shelf. Again, stuff. We have a lot of stuff.
We do.
And then I see Dean did a beautiful job on another vanity here for you. And yeah, so absolutely beautiful. And it's nice and roomy, but it's not this gigantic bathroom. It's
No, I mean,
doing everything it needs to do. It has its own little zones.
the theme of this house was no wasted space. So yes, this is plenty big, but we don't have wasted space. You went over the cute vanity with Dean also. So
Yeah,
that's
downstairs.
prime example, no wasted space.
When you go and watch the millwork or the casework where I was talking with Dean, we talked about the cute vanity downstairs. But yeah, even the finishes. This is some pretty elegant looking stuff. You know,
It's all Delta. None of it's you know, breaks
not
the
over
bank.
the top. But what I'm saying is, you know, a lot of times when I'm dealing with clients, you know, they have their defaults. Oh, we'll just do satin nickel because everybody does satin nickel.
Yep.
And no woman alive wants to get criticized by her friends for, oh my God, did you see the faucet they picked out? Did you see the color of that faucet? It's like, no, I commend you guys working with the interior designer and actually picking out some stuff that you don't commonly see.
Yeah.
Because it does make it your own. And this is some pretty elegant stuff. Actually, the shape and style of that is quite nice. Goes with the kind of simple theme that we have here. It's a nice, fine choice of picking that out.
Thank you, Steve.
Tile looks absolutely beautiful.
Speaking of tile, what I'm most excited for is this guy right here. Heated floor. And what's so cool about this, so Litacrete is who I partnered with for all the tile on this project. This thermostat will geofence with my phone, so I download the app and it'll learn my routines for when I shower, like when I heat up the floor, and it will take that, learn from it, and it'll preheat the floor for me. Like if I've been coming home from work at a certain time and taking my shower after that, it'll actually preheat the floor for me.
You know, the next step is, the scary next step is, there's gonna be a day where you're in bed and you hear, Brett, you're not
I'm
up
waiting.
for your shower. Your shower is waiting. Brett, wake up, Brett, because it's already figured out your schedule.
I know.
If you don't stay on your schedule, we're going to get reminded by our house or by the tile warmer sensor.
I know.
Right? I mean, those days are coming. These companies, they love to look for all the, what haven't we done yet?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey, I'm here for it. That's fine.
Tying that into your routine there is pretty darn elegant. So
I think so.
But why don't we head back in here? We'll close this one out. You see, we're getting ready to do some closets and closet rods there.
Yep.
One of the nice things here is you have his and her closets.
Yep, and one is slightly smaller than the other one, and I'll let you figure out. I'll let you figure out who gets it.
Well, you get half of that one. Right?
Yeah,
because there's seasonal clothing that doesn't quite fit in that one. So you're going to have to, listen, in my house, my wife has we have one large walk-in closet in our bedroom. It's all hers. I didn't even put up a fight. I said, you know what? When we put the addition and moved on upstairs, I said, I'll just keep my stuff downstairs. I'll wake up in the morning, I'll leave, never to return, and all my stuff is downstairs.
Yeah, and you know, in Sarah's eyes, it's no problem for me to walk down the hall to the closet in the office.
Yeah, your shirts, I put them in the
no problem.
hall closet down the way there.
No problem.
I needed a little extra room.
Yep. But honestly, we love it. This primary bedroom and bathroom setup is it's amazing. This isn't a big house, but it just the way you utilize the space, and we didn't waste it on anything unnecessary. It still feels like we have everything we could possibly need.
And it lives large with the windows,
Yep.
right? I mean, these windows really help, make this room feel twice the size that it actually is. If we substituted that for 2 3x5 double hungs, this room takes on a totally different feel.
I agree.
Getting that light in here, not having to turn lights on in the middle of the day is really good. And, some of the tricks that we've learned from, the past, the house that we live in was originally a post-war 1950s era. And we had a lot of these transom windows.
Yep.
And the reason we had a lot of these transom windows, because the bedrooms were like 10 foot by 10 foot 7 or so, big enough for a bed and a dresser.
Yep.
And so to be able to put the bed up against the wall means that you had to have a higher windowsill. And, so we took some of that and knitted it into the fabric of this house. And I think it turned out really, really well. And again, I love the paint scheme. I love the fact that everything. I can't wait, seeing everything in white, trying to picture. You can't come in here and picture it. You just gotta wait. So we'll wait until we come out here for that final walkthrough.
Well, I mean, if you need interior design services, I'm opening up a new
a
new leg. So
Brett's Design.
just let me know.
If you're in search of tranquility, is that going to be your tagline?
Good work. Good work. I don't have a tagline yet, but
We're not losing that.
the gears are spinning.
That word's going to show up on every video. I'm going to find a way to work in tranquility.
Oh, man.
You killed it on that one. All right. Well, there you have it, folks. This is tile, flooring, paint. You got to see the schemes. It's all coming together. We have a couple more episodes. We're going to return next time, and we're going to talk about some mechanicals. It's pretty exciting. We got some guys from Bosch out here, some guys from Fantech. We're going to walk through, and Brett's going to try give us some throne tranquility, because he's going to demonstrate one of the plumbing devices here.
I don't know if I'm going to demonstrate.
But yeah, we'll return. We're going to talk about mechanical finishes. Then we're going to return for the very last episode, where we're going to talk about millwork and casework and cabinetry, all of that good stuff, the doors, baseboard, all of the decisions that we made there. And then we'll return for that final walkthrough where we say goodbye to Brett and his lovely family, and we let them go on through life with this beautiful house. So,
Yes, sir.
anyways, Brett, thank you
Thank
for
you,
allowing
Steve.
us to come out and talk. It's all looking beautiful, shaping up. I'm actually quite envious and jealous. It's shaping up. This is better than I thought. So it's always good when we go down that road. So anyways, I'm Steve Basic Architect. This is the Build Show. Thank you for joining in on the Multi-Gen series. Don't forget, next time we're talking mechanical. All right, we're catching up with Mohammed. But one of the things that I want to make clear is that, even though Bosch has been in the game for well over 100 years in the heating and cooling game, in my short conversations today, it's very evident that Bosch finds themselves right on the leading edge of innovation and electrification in the industry. And I'm very proud to have you guys as a sponsor, but more as a teammate here as we deliver premium products to our clients, to have teammates like the Bosch Group here to be partnered with.
Yeah, thank you for hosting us. So just want to remind everyone, with the IDS, we believe that electrification is the forefront, and this product is going to be a great accelerator. So be part of a change, and we want to continue to decarbonize.
Right. And for you contractors out there, Bosch has the Home Comfort Pro system that you should be part of. So I would say go out there, check it out, connect with Bosch. They have training centers available. You can bring clients to look at their equipment up here in the Northeast. So check it out. And when you're looking for heating and cooling equipment, you should put Bosch on your list.